Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Four Star Kickoff Show. That's right, it's game day. We've been waiting for this all week. I am jacked. I'm fired. It's the Bears. It's the Packers. It's the frozen Tundra. And we're going to give our final thoughts right after this. Oh, what the hell?
It's the Super Bowl for the Bears just about every year because they haven't been in the playoffs in that long. Is it a rivalry anymore?
Oh, fair question.
If they can't beat us, is it a rivalry? Every coach that gets hired in Chicago's first goal is beat them. It's been rough the last 30 plus years.
Hey, if you don't know, now you know. It's Chicago! Yeah! You better get better! Bears on three, 1, 2, 3,
Thank you so much, Rooster Visuals. That was an amazing hype video. Let's get jacked. Bears, Packers, Jason, Brandon, how y'all doing this morning? I didn't sleep well last night, I can tell you that.
Well, I actually woke up early. It's like you're a kid on Christmas morning, except you don't know what your present's going to be. Is it a Bears win or is is a Bears loss? I can tell you this though, man. This is a big day. I know Aaron Rodgers in that video said, "Oh, the Bears fans, this is their Super Bowl." I mean, listen, okay. First of all, trends change, times change. It's now time for the Bears to take over the North. Not give it back. Let's renew this rivalry. Let's go back up. I mean, it's going to take us a couple years to do it. It's hard to do it at 2 games at a time, but we're going to take that overall lead back again. We're going to take the overall win lead back again. It's time, Bears fans. It's time.
Absolutely. And this is the best rivalry in the NFL. And when it matters, it matters, and it matters today. And the entire country will be watching. A couple of quick housekeeping things. The Bears made a move today, bringing up Jordan McFadden to the active roster. They waived linebacker Carl Jones Jr. Additionally, Chicago elevated Jalen Reeves-Maybin from the practice squad for Sunday's game up in Lambeau. Looking for a little bit of depth. A couple of things, a couple of side notes, doing a little bit more research from Wednesday to now. Staggering numbers for Matt LaFleur in December. He is 20-4 as head coach of that team up north. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go. When he talks about that rivalry, man, it is time for things to change. You went from Brett Favre 23-13 against the Bears, Rodgers 26-5, a 49-18 overall record versus the Bears. When they came in, Chicago had a lead 80-57, and now it's down to 108-96 in favor of Green Bay. It's a remarkable 35-game swing in 33 years, and I think it's our time. I think it's our time to turn this thing back around and take that lead. What are your thoughts there, Brando?
Well, I think for a majority of the 10 years in which you just listed between Favre and Rodgers, you never had a coach and you never had a quarterback, really. I mean, you had Lovie Smith, who I thought was, a good leader of men. I don't know. And he drew up a really good defense. But the offense was still never very good on those teams because the quarterbacks were never all that good on those teams. You had Cutler in the latter years, but this is the first time, Sean, I feel confident that the Bears coach and quarterback tandem is just as good and will probably be better than the Packers. Now, Jordan Love, I'm not going to start being a Bears fan, I'm not going to. The guy is right now, he's ranked top 5th at the position in the league. He's playing really good football. He was criticized for his turnovers. He's brought that number down. Matt LaFleur has a phenomenal record against the Bears, against the NFC North, and in the NFL in general. They're both very good, a coach and good quarterback, respectively. But I think Caleb will be ultimately better than Jordan Love. And I think Ben Johnson is already a better coach than Matt LaFleur. We talked about it on our Thursday show, me and Dustin. I think you could make that claim today just because we've seen Matt LaFleur lose games himself by mismanaging. And I don't know that I could say that Ben Johnson's done that even as a rookie head coach. So, yeah, I think in a non-biased way, Sean, I think the tides will turn naturally just because you finally hit on two things that are most pivotal to a franchise in this sport. And you've just never had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, dude. This is a different era now. It's not the same type of team. We have a coaching staff, not just a head coach, but a coaching staff that knows how to handle situations.
And the best fourth quarter quarterback in the NFL doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And last year with nobody, Caleb Williams almost swept the Packers. Let's not forget about that. This is not hey, the Packers are always going to win anymore. In the last 2 years, it's 50-50. And I think if we sweep the Packers here, I think it's going to shut up a lot of these Packer fans for at least a year or so. And I don't look, Jordan Love is dealing with a shoulder injury. Can we just knock this guy out of the season, please? I don't mean it to be a serious injury, but it's always his left hand. It's never his right hand. Can we just break a finger or something so he can't throw the ball anymore?
Yeah, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this because, we've all talked about in this formula work last week. We saw it be very effective against Philadelphia, but we also saw Jordan Love sit in that pocket, write his biography against the Detroit Lions and pick them apart. Even though his numbers weren't staggering, he was 18 for 30. That wasn't impressive. The throws he made in those 18 completions were impressive because he had time in the pocket. He wasn't flustered. But the Bears are getting pressure on 25.4% of third downs, which ranks by a mile dead last in the NFL, okay? But yet they're allowing 30.4% of conversions on third down, which is among the best in the league. So those pressures, they may not be getting the sacks, but they're creating enough chaos. Maybe not getting pressures. They're doing something right. And maybe you guys can enlighten me because if they're not getting pressures, they're not moving the quarterbacks, but they're being so effective on third down, sticky coverage, gap schemes. I don't know exactly what they're doing because when you don't get pressure, you don't flush the quarterback. You shouldn't have one of the best third down conversion rates on defense in the NFL, but the Chicago Bears do. So maybe you guys can enlighten me on this. And after we talk about that, I'm going to give you guys a key stat that I want to ask you guys about that I think is going to help lead the Chicago Bears to victory today.
Brandon, go ahead.
Well, I think it's quite remarkable, man. I wish I knew more about it. I wish I could tell you, Sean, the X's and the O's and how it works, but I know this. When you see somebody like a coach who's good at something, you see it translate. I mean, Dennis Allen was never a big pass rush guy, not a big pressure guy when he was in New Orleans with a top 10 defense. He was a guy that made a really, really, really tough go of throwing the football. His secondaries are phenomenal. He's already got the talent here. We talked about early in the season, does Dennis Allen have the pieces that he needs to run a successful defense? He has the secondary. Absolutely. Yeah. He's got every piece he needs and more now that these guys are coming back. And I think as long as, in third down, Sean, a lot of times in third down that the opposing team is looking to pass the football because they're not, it's not a 1 yard run. I just don't think this Bears team is going to be very easy to throw against no matter who you are. I really don't. Jordan Love, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, throw whoever you want at me. I don't care. This secondary and this offensive line have gotten too good, I think.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what the Bears are still missing and what areas, what they are good at. They're showing us guys they're really, really good at. And I think as long as Jalen Johnson and the majority of these guys are on the field, I don't think third downs are going to be a problem for the Bears if you're leaving teams especially in a position to have to pass. If Jordan Love's in third and long, if they don't get pressure on him, I still have faith that our DBs are better than their receivers. I always will.
Yeah, you're 100% right, dude, because look, if the Bears can rush for 285 yards, who gives a shit what Caleb Williams' efficiency is, dude? You're probably going to win the game no matter what because you're going to have the ball for 40 minutes. I mean, listen, if we can run like we did against Philadelphia today, which I think is probably going to be the game plan. Green Bay has issues stopping the run. It's going to be huge. And you know what? Zach Pearson on our show on Wednesday had mentioned special teams. And I did a quick Google search, believe it or not. And I just asked, why, Gemini, why do the Green Bay Packers suck so much? And it said an inconsistent offense, special teams woes, injuries, which, by the way, Green Bay has got a very long laundry list of injuries going into this game today. The Bears, for some reason, don't, which is a miracle. And then the last thing it says is inconsistency in penalties. They don't lead the league in penalties by any mean. I think they're probably like 20th or so, but they get key penalties. And it seems like Jordan Love does that a lot as well. In key moments, he doesn't throw a lot of big interceptions. It's just key interceptions at the wrong time. He'll throw 7 for the whole, year, but all 7 of those might result in a loss or, key critical moments in the fourth quarter. So I think pressure, like you're saying, guys, and that run game is the key to victory today. And hey, I'm going to go with Zach Pearson and say special teams too. Let's get that ball, past the 30-yard line here when we're running it back, and let's see if we can maybe mess around with them when we're making tackles on special teams.
Well, you make another good point, Jay, that maybe might apply, Sean, to why they don't get pressure, but they still have a good third down conversion rate. A lot of their takeaways are on third down because that's when teams get a little desperate. That's when a quarterback's willing to make that throw that they probably shouldn't. So a lot of their third down conversion rate is probably just strictly from taking the damn ball away. I mean, this team has 17 guys. Is that what it is? 17?
17 interceptions.
Yeah, 17 interceptions. Yeah, and the next team underneath them has 9.
It's not even close.
It's astonishing, actually. It's astonishing.
I think
I would have laughed in your face.
Like looking at it on paper, you don't have the pass rush that you probably want or need. You can work on that next year. And the pass rush has been honestly better than I even thought it would be. Really, because Montez Sweat has just been a better player. But, people are like, oh, if the pass rush isn't there, the secondary has to hold up for longer and it's a harder job for the secondary. But I think this secondary is probably the best at it.
Yeah.
Continuing to pursue their receivers while the quarterback has time to throw the ball. These guys, it's hard to lose these DBs, man.
What's funny, Brandon, you mentioned that because if you give Kevin Byard enough time in the backfield, defensive backfield,
gonna read it.
He figures you out.
He's going to read it.
You need to throw fast on him.
He's really good, man, at watching a quarterback's eyes.
Camel Toe Inspector says, guys, win, lose, or draw, the real story is the Bears are sending to the top. We are not the same old Bears. Those days are behind us. Plank backs that up and says fact. And Bruce says we need to get some pressure today on Love or turnovers, excuse me. Camel Toe says the Bears will 100% be in the Super Bowl within the next 2 or 3 years. Book it, folks. You've heard it here today. And Plank backed it up with hell yeah, bear down. And the one stat I wanted to bring up kind of backs up.
Guys. Thanks for being here.
Into what Jay was saying here. The Green Bay Packers, and this is what the Bears did and absolutely annihilated the Philadelphia Eagles. Inside zone rushes, last week against Philadelphia. The Green Bay Packers are the worst team in the NFL against inside zone rushes with a 31.1% DVOA. The Chicago Bears are 4th in the NFL at inside zone rushing with a 9.1% DVOA. And the Bears will come in with the 4th best ranked O-line according to PFF. I know everyone doesn't prefer that, but I will say this. And on top of that, one more stat, because I want you guys to dive into this a little bit. I'll preface this all by saying I got one caveat to this game. Jordan Love's second worst performance with a 66.4% passer rating came against Dennis Allen's defense back in 2023 in a narrow win over the New Orleans Saints. So, boys, Dennis Allen, does he have his number? And the key, inside zone rushing for the Chicago Bears. And I love what Paul says here. Blow, pack, blow. But inside rushing, how do you guys feel about that? Do you think that's the game plan the Bears are going to attack with today? And then we'll take a look at these injury reports for both teams.
Well, you know what, Sean? If you look at the all-22, the Bears actually on against Philadelphia, they ran like 4 or 5 different run schemes all game long. It's insane. They ran inside and outside. They had jet sweeps. They were running out of the eye. It was insane. They basically, and this is why I think a lot of these analysts are really just, dumbfounded at it. They excelled at every single one. So it doesn't matter to me if it's inside zone or outside zone. I think the Bears offensive line can run any concept they need to, which is great, because if you start running inside zone and somehow Green Bay has figured out how to stop it, fine, we'll run the outside zone. We'll just do whatever it takes. And that's a big kudos or flowers to Rochar, the offensive line coach. I don't know what he's done. I know there's some really good veterans on that team, but there's also been some plug and play rookies and second year guys coming in and coming out. I mean, this coaching staff is doing a great job, but honestly, I don't think anybody can really stop the Bears rushing game at this point. Anybody. I'm telling you, I don't know how. The gaps are opening up before the running backs even getting the ball, dude. It's insane.
I alluded to it last week on our Thursday show. I think this Bears team isn't all that similar to the Eagles team that won a Super Bowl last year. The offensive line played really good football. They got pushed on just about everybody. We don't have a Saquon Barkley, but you know what that guy does when the gaps open up? Jalen Hurts does enough to throw to some quality weapons on offense. That's kind of how Caleb's played football in order to win these games. And I agree with you, Jason. It's really, really incredible how these guys have ascended. I didn't think the offensive line was going to get to the level of football that they're playing at currently, and I don't see how it regresses. I think it only gets better. So, yeah, I think running the ball, guys, NFL Network, this shocked me. I shared it with you yesterday, Sean, in a text. NFL Network, did the top 5 start them and sit them at every position, rolling across the bottom?
All the Bears were sit.
The Bears, Monangai and Swift were both in stardom, 4 and 5. Spot 4 and spot 5. They have both Bears running backs, 2 Bears running backs over 27 other starting running backs, man, and you're stardom for fantasy. So the anticipation is that the Bears are not only going to try to run the ball effectively, but they're going to, and they're going to execute. And if I had Monangai in a fantasy team, I think I'd be really enticed to put him in my.
All right, let me ask you this
before
we move on. I have Kamani Vidal, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs, and DeAndre Swift. Who do I take out from Monangai?
Is Hampton playing?
Hampton's playing, but I'm fearing limited snaps, maybe.
If anyone, I'd take Vidal. I'm not impressed with Vidal, man. I think he's a guy who kind of gets the yards that are there. But
all right,
I don't know that I'd take any of those guys out, Sean, from Monangai. NFL Network is not just because it says it doesn't mean somebody agree with. But I do think Kyle Monangai has more potential to get in the end zone than DeAndre Swift. So it's a very hard tandem when you have fantasy, because it's like, the yards will probably go to Swift, but the goal line stuff will probably go to Monangai. This is what Ben Johnson wants, these two guys like merged into one. That's what he wants on his football team. You know what I mean?
Well, it's harder to defend, right? Because it's 2 slightly different running styles. One guy hits the gap a little bit harder. The other guy, is a little bit more evasive. But
he wears it down.
They're both breaking tackles. They're both getting exceptional awareness with looking at the gaps. And I don't even know how to explain it. I've never seen a run game like this for the Bears. I mean, yeah, Walter Payton was great, but that offensive line wasn't opening holes like this. It was just Walter Payton doing Walter Payton things. There they are. Oh, there we go. There they are.
What's up? He brought 2. He brought 2 today.
Double the luck.
Go Bears.
Yeah. What up, guys? How we doing? Bear down. FGB.
Hi.
Everybody in the chat. What's up?
James is checking in.
Bear down, James.
Dustin, what do you think is the key to the Bears' victory today?
Running the fucking football, dominating with his offensive line. You're looking at the weather out there. You know what it's going to be. It's going to be a slobber knocker, as Jim Ross used to say. You need to just beat the shit out of this team across from you, and that's just what it is, man. I mean, and that's what Ben Johnson wants to do. I think you do exactly what you did against the Eagles. Is it going to be as easy? The Eagles are more susceptible to the run than the Packers, obviously, throughout this season so far. But this offensive line is looking like the best offensive line in football, and you need to just ride them to a fucking victory. and Caleb just make a few big throws out of that play action when you need it. That's the way I'm looking at this. Don't put this on your quarterback.
I just said this team reminds me of last year's Eagles. You just want them to run the ball effectively and your quarterback to make the throws to some pretty talented fucking receivers too. You know what I mean? Like that.
Well, missing Rome sucks. It sucks.
Colson Loveland and Luther Burden are going to have to be big in this football game, guys.
And I think they're up to that moment.
Too, and I was honestly thinking about that. It does suck not to have Rome, but look at all the pass catchers we still have.
This is when the rookies got to make an impact, Sean, like you've been saying.
I really do believe in.
No, that's staying with me forever. So everybody who passes upon me got to pay.
And guess what? They passed up on him for Matthew Golden. So guess what? It's time to pay that check, boys.
I think Burden is a better receiver
in
than
his
Golden
interview because he wants to get out there.
I think Burden is a better receiver than Golden. It was probably a mistake, but Matthew Golden is a good receiver who hasn't gotten a lot of opportunity. He's been hurt throughout this year. He's been disappointing. But I mean, I don't know. He was still questionable going into today. What's the report?
Yeah, he's questionable, not out, but questionable.
He was very raw, guys.
Golden's playing, and so is Jalen. The Packers
Jaden Reed is coming out.
Golden, he's playing.
Every Packer is playing except Devontae Wyatt and their starting safety Javon Bullock.
But Matthew Golden. I'm going to defend Matthew Golden.
His name is.
Matthew Golden was a very raw project. Matthew Golden's not going to be the best Matthew Golden for a year at least.
When it comes to the Bears receiver, Sean, I agree with you 100%. And that's kind of been my thought since we heard about the Rome stuff is they got plenty of pass catchers to get this done. This offensive weaponry is very talented. So there's people that can step up, and we got the people to do it. And I think DJ Moore has a big game. This is a big DJ Moore game. We keep talking about Luther Burden, but DJ Moore's had a weird season where he's kind of been non-existent in some spots, and I think this is going to open up a lot of opportunity for him to be that number one guy he had been in Chicago for a couple of years, man. I think this is that type of game for DJ.
Yeah, you know what, Joe in the chat is a pretty good point here. He says the Bears tight ends will be a difference in this game. They very well be. I mean, those are big guys.
People don't want to hear this, guys, but Zacchaeus is going to have a good football game. He is. Zacchaeus is going to have an impactful football game. He's going to play in the slot. He's going to be probably more targeted than other guys.
Well, if he's playing in the slot, that means Luther Burden is not playing as much.
Or no, Luther Burden has had his best plays in the league in this season outside the numbers.
I'm going to tell you, Luther Burden is not going to play.
I think Luther Burden
regularly
might be your best outside receiver besides Rome.
Not going to happen. That's not what he plays, dude. He's a slot receiver, man.
I think Luther has a little more than you're giving him credit for there, Sean. I think it's going to be a combination of both. I do want to comment on what Brandon just said. I think the only people that don't want to see Zacchaeus have a good game are fucking Packers fans. Bears fans want to see Zacchaeus have a good game.
Well,
nobody wants to hear this.
Burden get more opportunity.
He needs to catch the ball. No, I mean, honestly, I think Ben's going to come up with some creative shit. I think Luther Burden's going to get utilized outside and in, Sean. I think it's going to be all over the field depending on the sets that they have. And I think Burden can excel at either one of them. But, yeah, he is stronger right now in the slot. So you're thinking if Zacchaeus is out there, maybe he's pulling snaps from Burden. But I don't think that's the case. I think
I don't either.
He's also
I don't either. And I think Zacchaeus
end arounds, screens, reverses. He's going to be
he's the gadget guy in that regard.
That takes on that role. And I said it in the chat or in our text, and you guys weren't on board. He is active. He's been inactive. Don't sleep on Jahdae Walker today. He is more of a boundary guy than Luther Burden is.
Maybe than anybody on the football team.
Hey, go look at his stats. He didn't play the boundary. So
he might be a better boundary guy than anybody on this team.
Listen, I would love
he's a
Sean. My point to that wasn't that I wasn't on board with the idea of Jahdae Walker being on the field and getting some snaps. My thought is Ben Johnson has shown us all year he's a guy who makes you earn his trust. Sure. Jahdae Walker hasn't done that yet, so I think it's going to be a slow going thing. We're going to see how long Rome is out for, but I think Jahdae Walker is going to have to earn those snaps, and if he's been doing it in practice, so be it. But I just don't think the opportunity is going to be there for him based on what Ben Johnson has shown us with playing these rookies this year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just been a slow roll for sure. I'll be honest, I don't love the approach. I don't. You're seeing other teams go heavy on their rookies early in the season. Ben did this slow roll thing. Maybe this will benefit the guys in the long run. Colson Loveland has really come on strong in the last 3 weeks. I think that he's
attaboy, Joel. Joel?
guy who, I think, well, to me, Loveland looks very much like a guy who's going to be pretty lethal in a year from now, man. If anybody's not seeing that, this guy is going to be a very impactful player. And I think it's going to happen by the end of this season, not by next.
I'd like to see, and I know it's kind of getting off topic slightly, but I'd like to see this elite defense of the Packers get like 0 sacks today. That would be a really, really big thing.
Caleb's a hard guy to sack, man.
Just to shut these guys up.
That's an important point, Jay, and I want to just piggyback on that for 1 second. Ben Johnson is very good at adding extra protection in these games where he has people to worry about. Crosby kind of went off, there's those one guy game records that you're going to have a problem with even when you double team him. But Johnson's going to have a really good plan to keep Loveland in there, Komet in there, Smythe in there to get the extra pass blockers to help out Trapillo and even Wright if he has to. But then you throw in the fact that Brandon just said Caleb is the best quarterback in the league at avoiding sacks and avoiding pressure. So you're going to have that double whammy as a Packers defensive end where you got to get through a chip block, a double team, and then you still have to tackle Caleb Williams, which is the hardest thing to do in football right now from my perspective.
Well, guys,
I think from everybody's,
Let's
so
take
it could
a look.
happen, Jay.
Michael Parsons, as usual, is having I say it every show, fuck you, Jerry Jones, for sending him to Green Bay. But he leads the NFL with 70 pressures, 33 quick pressures while facing 21.4% double team rate on the season. He's going to be a menace. Hopefully the Bears, Dennis Allen or Ben Johnson has a plan to come up. He has a plan to come up to slow this guy down at least. You're not going to stop him. You just hope you contain him.
No, you want to. I think Ben Johnson will utilize this.
Here, I'll tell you one more really quick. I'll tell you one more stat. He has 2 games with 10+ pressures this year. The entire rest of the NFL has 3. That's how dominant this guy is.
Yeah, and one of them was in this most recent game against a decent, pretty good Detroit offensive line, man. They're coming along. They had to replace some guys this year, but they're still one of the better ones in the league. He can get off.
He's the second best defender in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What's it? He's the only player besides Reggie White with those 12 sacks at least in his first 5 seasons.
He's the only one now. He passed Reggie White
because he did it 6.
Yeah.
Besides Myles Garrett, Michael Parsons is the most impactful player on the defensive side.
100%.
Yeah.
A quiet game out of him.
Sean, I think Ben Johnson will find out a way. We talked about this on the bare minimum. I still think this needs to be your plan. I would utilize Micah Parsons is really aggressive. He just goes after the quarterback. We know that, guys. He's going to come at you. Maybe use that against him. Let him get behind you and get rid of the ball quickly. That's why this could be a big Zacchaeus game. If you're letting Parsons in and getting him further away from the ball while pushing the ball forward, now Parsons is removed from the play. Ben Johnson's not.
Well, that's what the run game too, Brandon. That's what he can run. You can run right by him if you let him go past. And the screen game is huge in this game, as we talked about on Thursday. If Ben Johnson has been doing really well with the screens and setting those up, and I think this is a big game for that for a guy like Zacchaeus, for a guy like Burden, Sean, for a guy like DJ Moore. The quick passing and then the screen game can be big here. But what you tend to see with Ben Johnson is when he does want to pass it, he's trying to get down the field big time. Oh, you look so pretty.
You know what? We also need these wide receivers to make sure they're handling the ball. Like drops, we cannot have them today. We got to catch the ball.
And the conditions are going to be conducive to drops on both sides.
Yeah.
That's going to be
it's like 18 degrees or something there.
And someone put in here.
They got snow out there too.
Someone put in the chat, big game from Zacchaeus, a 2-to-1 drop ratio today.
That was Swaggy. Swaggy's the most sarcastic trap member we have. It's between him and Jed. It's like a race.
I almost considered plugging Zacchaeus into my fantasy lineup as a flex, man.
Well,
I'll tell you for a big game.
I'll tell you, I did plug in Luther Burden today in our Mills Fantasy Football League. I put him in over Zay Flowers. I'm going to roll with Dustin. I'm with you. 2 touchdowns, 10 targets, 80 yards, maybe 100. I think this is someone said
touchdown game for Luther Burden. We're calling.
I agree. Let's go. Let's go.
And Loveland.
I think Loveland gets a touchdown.
Yeah, Loveland is going to be a big part of this game, and it's going to be because Loveland is really good after the catch, guys. And he's not getting enough credit for it, I don't think. But when he gets that chip block on Micah Parsons or Rashawn Gary, and then he leaks out. They've done that a lot throughout this season. That's a big spot for a guy like Loveland.
Let me ask you this.
When they get him moving in the same direction as Caleb, when they move the pocket, he's almost always open. When they get him in motion, when Caleb's moving out of the pocket, they're going in the same direction. Between Komet and Loveland, that play is almost always hit.
Yeah, Brandon.
Last week, Philadelphia came in as a number 2 team against tight ends. And what did he have? 3 for 33. The Green Bay Packers are averaging giving up, I believe it was 17 yards a game to tight ends this year. This is a big test for both tight ends for the Bears.
Between Komet and Loveland, it's a different monster. There's not a lot of teams that are throwing that kind of versatility at you.
It's very hard to find
at the tight end position. To me, in my opinion, if you put Komet and Loveland against other tight ends in the league, there's not a lot of teams that can match up with their versatility and talent. So
I agree.
It is a bit of a
maybe Baltimore.
Yeah, but I mean, like the Packers do have those linebackers, and they do have really good safeties in Evan Williams and McKinney. So I mean that is a concern, and that's how they're able to. Those are the two biggest. The linebackers and the safeties are why they're able to key against the run so well, and why they're so good against the tight end. Sean. So like that is a big advantage. Throw it back up. I was looking at my daughter. Throw it back up.
This is going to be this is gonna be one of the keys, man. And I was talking about this. It's almost reminiscent to the Big Ten championship game yesterday, getting the ball out quickly because the linebackers are so gosh darn fast in Ohio State. Indiana had to find a way to exploit that, and they did in certain areas. The Bears are going to have to do the same because the strength of this defense is definitely these linebackers. They are tops in the league, I believe, in against running backs and allowing less than 2 yards a carry. I think it was 2.7.
You got to use their speed against them.
Sean, you shared
the misdirection. You got to get them going one way. You got to get them going one way, and you're going the other.
Much like they did in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yeah, Sean, and you sent a text the other day with the linebackers in the NFL ranked. They have 2 top 15 linebackers on this football team.
Kyle Harris is here.
Cooper, and Gary and Walker are studs, dude. They're all studs.
Let's give this question a bit of our time, guys, because we got a Packers fan in here. He's a friend of ours, Kyle Harris. He says, I want to hear from you guys a scenario where the Bears lose. The truth is, without turnovers in Santos, the Bears suck. So, I mean, you could have just stopped the question at you could have stopped at the first sentence.
You know what, Kyle?
Listen, but let's give a non-biased perspective on that. I mean, if the Packers are able to run the ball, they're only averaging 4 yards per carry. The Bears are giving up 5.2. Something's got to give there. The Packers have not been very good at running the ball to get up and down the field. They're not getting chunk plays. So if Josh Jacobs and Wilson can turn those into that 5 yards per carry and they're gashing the Bears, not a good look. And yeah, if the Bears don't generate a turnover or two, that's going to make it tougher on this defense to stop Jordan Love. It really is. So, I mean, I think that those two things, and obviously, as Jay said, you want to see the Bears not give up any sacks, but the Packers want to get 3 or 4 of them. If that happens, the Bears are not going to really have a chance, I don't think. If they can't generate a turnover or stop the run and they allow those sacks.
Yeah, what scares me is Nahshon Wright. I mean, I know he's leading the league in takeaways right now, which is remarkable, but he also loves to give up the big play for some reason. He's not
because he takes chances, man. That's why. That's his style. But yeah, he leads the league in touchdowns allowed. That's been going around, right?
Also because Brisker is terrible over the top.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times between Stevenson and Wright where Brisker has let him down.
Just awful. He's not good. Oh.
Well, Brisker is good, but he's not that. His weak spot is coverage.
Kyle, I think you want a scenario in which the Packers could win this football game. I mean, I think I didn't hear your guys' score predictions on Wednesday, but me and Dustin have this by a field goal.
It's a close one. This is a close one.
The scenario in which the Packers could win this football game is they have the ball last.
Yeah,
I mean, this is how these NFC North games are played. This is how it went twice last year. You had a blocked field goal and then a field goal to win a football game. This is how these games are going to go, I think, for a long time. And
I'm not
said this,
close game.
The NFC North games tend to go this way. They really do. And Caleb, in the fourth quarter, when you got a 1-score game, is to me, I like him more than Jordan Love. And that's
in a close game, in a clutch situation, I trust Caleb more than Love right now. And that's crazy because I think Love is a much better quarterback than Caleb Williams right now. I'll say that. I think the Packers have the advantage at the quarterback position. We kind of went through and did that. I think Ben Johnson is already a better coach than Matt LaFleur. I'll just continue to say that.
Yeah, I said that.
Whenever there's a problem, he fixes it. It's
guys. Sean was mentioning something, and it made me think of the fact that Ben Johnson has outcoached this year, beaten Pete Carroll, Dan Quinn, Sirianni, Zach Taylor, Mike Tomlin. These are all coaches that have led their team to at least one Super Bowl. Ben Johnson, in his first year as a head coach, has outcoached and beaten those 5 coaches. That is the most impressive thing about the Bears season to me at this point, because those were my concerns going into those games is, are those guys going to take advantage of Ben Johnson's lack of experience at this point? And Ben Johnson has not been outmatched in any of these games. He has outmatched veteran head coaches who have had major success, and I don't think Matt LaFleur is on the level of a Mike Tomlin to me or Sirianni.
If I can, I'm going to answer Kyle Harris's question in my way. Now, if I look at it this way and say we're coming in as a touchdown underdog, Vegas has us almost as a 4-1 underdog on the money line, which 2 things tell me no one expects the Bears to win. You look at the national media, everyone is saying the Packers are going to walk over the Bears. This isn't even a competition. I don't even know why we're playing this game at 3:25 today because the Packers already won. For me, it's how the game is played. The Bears go into Green Bay. They're competitive. They lose this game 23-21, 23-20.
I'm happy.
It's on the
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with
2
that.
weeks from now. It's not like
That's
the Green Bay
important to say,
Packers are a terrible team.
They should be favored in this game. They're at home, and they're one of the better teams in football.
They're third favorite to win the Super Bowl.
I also think it's very evenly matched across the board. I think what the Packers struggle at, the Bears are good at. It's very similar to Philadelphia last week. I think the Packers can exploit some things on the Bears that the Bears have to overcome, and the Bears can exploit some things in the Packers that the Packers are going to have to overcome. And Dustin, you've been saying it all week. Styles win fights. Inside zone rushing for the Bears, the Packers are the worst. Bears are the 4th best. So let's see the Bears offensive line dominate inside the tackles and just obliterate this game like they did in Philadelphia. That's going to be the key for the Bears. If the Bears can do that, they're going to win. If the Packers step up in that position, the Bears might not have a chance.
You can say the Bears are the 4th best right now, Sean, but you got 5 weeks of terrible rushing from the Bears to start off this season.
Sure,
they have been really
since the bye. They're the best.
Yeah, they have been dominant with that backside. These running backs are great at being patient and waiting for that zone blocking to open up on the backside and cutting back. Yeah. I mean, it's been the best team in football to watch for the last 5-6 weeks to me in terms of how the Bears are attacking that zone rushing scheme. And that, like you said, and like I've been saying, styles do make fights. And I think there is some conflicting styles here, and something's got to give on both sides of the ball. And this is a coin flip game. And what you just said, Sean, is really important to say for Bears fans. This is not our Super Bowl. We are 9-3. We are going to have more games to play. This game is important. You're on the road in Lambeau in a tough conditions. No, it's not. And that's what Packers fans want to believe. We believe, but it's not. This game, if you lose this game, it is not the end of the world. Now, if you get your ass beaten in this game, I'm going to be a little concerned. But
there's a big that's
if you're competing,
Packers, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, 100%. But if you're competing and you're going toe to toe with this team like the Lions did on Thursday, and you come out with the loss because the Packers had the ball last, that kind of just is what it is. Move on to the next week. You got the Browns at home, and then you got the Packers at home. You got 2 weeks in a row where you can get right. So I mean, this is not the end of the world. Have perspective, like Jay said. This is Christmas. You don't know what kind of gifts you're going to get. Bears win, Bears loss. It feels like Christmas today. It really does. Snow on the ground. I couldn't sleep last night. That's what it feels like. But sometimes the gift isn't always what you want, but life goes on to the next thing.
Hey, let's break down 2 of the most important stats for me in football. Number 1 is wins, right? The Bears have more wins, and we've had practically the same schedule. So there's that for you. And then let me ask you this. I keep hearing about Green Bay's high-powered offense, and Jordan Love is the best since sliced bread. You know who's scoring more points than the Green Bay Packers per game are? The Bears, by almost 2 points a game.
It's because of that run game, yeah. 26-24, I believe, right?
Yeah. So, listen, I know they're high-powered, but how come nobody's calling the Bears offense high-powered if they're scoring more points than them?
It's the styles in which they're doing it, Jay.
Right.
That's why. Right. And Jordan Love has been one of the better quarterbacks in the league this year.
Oh, his efficiency.
Have you guys noticed something? Good. And I don't want to make this show
putting it together season right now.
I don't want to make this show, you know, an us versus them thing. We embrace the Packers fans, guys.
No,
Throw your
let's do
shit in the
that,
chat.
Brandon. Let's make it an us versus
But
them.
have you noticed that
Yeah, I'm gonna embrace
this
Packers
is
fans
the
with my
best?
two hands around their neck.
This is like the best Bears team I think we've seen, and generally not just a Bears fan. The NFL fan base is like, this Bears team is better than we've seen the Bears be in forever. This is like, and this is the most they've ever talked. Like these Packers channels, most shit they've talked about the current state of the Bears.
They're scared.
That's not
Yeah.
coincidental,
Yeah,
guys.
they're scared.
Yeah,
They're
I've never
They're
heard so
nervous
much
about this
shit
team. Yeah.
talked from Packers fans, from Packers radio sources, from Packers podcasters. I've never heard them disrespect the team more than they do now, when it's the most respectful team we've ever seen put on a football field as a Bears fan. There's a reason for that.
A very
They
good
know
point,
this
Brent.
shit is getting real.
Yep,
For
yep.
sure.
This is gonna be a fucking fist fight today.
Yeah.
I'm
But
excited.
you don't want the Bears to have the ball in a one-score game with 1 minute left. That you
When
don't
you see,
want that.
but their
It's the
track
worst
record
case scenario.
shows you you're in a bad spot if that's the case. Their
Yep.
track record shows you that. The Bears have showed us who they are, and they've showed the NFL who they are. And yeah, Brandon, Packers and their fans, they know that shit. They know that. As much as they don't want to let it on, they know it.
The Bears are, I think, 6th in the power rankings right now, guys.
That's probably fair.
Well, there's
They're-
all kinds of power rankings, Brandon.
Well,
I don't know.
but we've said this. Every team has kind of looked good and bad, so it's like it shouldn't surprise you, because right now I think you're only basing the power rankings off the record, because you can't really say this team's definitively the
Well, it's
best, or this
record and
team's
who they beat,
definitively,
Brandon.
strength of
who they
schedule.
No,
Sure.
and as you say that, Brandon, you want to know the funniest thing about this is the Packers are acting like they're so much better than the Bears. Look at
But
their
that's what I
schedule.
mean. This is the
And
most
they played the
they've
same
talked.
fucking teams.
I think the Bears are like at a 343 winning percentage. The Packers are at a 371.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not like they
it's
play this
minimal.
dominant
Yeah.
schedule. They act like they're beating all the
And
top
they-
quarterbacks
and
in
they
the league
and they tied a football team, which I just can't
that we
respect.
destroyed.
Yeah, and that conversation is always stupid, man, because each game is a different entity
Yes.
throughout a season. There's no, it is what it is, but you can't say, well, the Packers lost to the Panthers at home, so they're going to lose to the Bears. Or you can't say, well, the Bears beat the Cowboys and the Packers tied the Cowboys, so the Bears are better than the Packers.
No, that's a
No,
stupid
that's
that
not-
math
right.
does not work.
No,
Right.
Stop
It really
doing
doesn't
it.
work.
It's stupid. It's a stupid conversation to have. This game matters. The Bears do some things really well that the Packers are pretty good at stopping in terms of running the football. So who's going to assert their will at the line of scrimmage? That's what this comes down to. Styles make fights. I like the Bears' style against this Packers team, and I think they can exploit some things. I do. I think the misdirection is huge, as I said earlier. Get those fast linebackers going one way, and then you get going the other way. They'll over pursue, and you'll catch them sleeping. That's what I like.
Hold on 1 second, boys. This is for you, Prophet.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Lonnie just said they better win. Good, better beat the fucking Packers. That's what Lonnie
Hey,
just
you know
said.
what? Listen to me, man. I want this game really fucking bad, because for all the years that I have this PTSD of great years where the Packers had just come in and been our dream crushers, I would just like to be the team that says, hey, man, we're finally here. Kind of like the 2009 Blackhawks, who finally put or the 2010 Blackhawks, excuse me, who finally put their stamp after all those
Or the
losing
90s Bulls.
to the Red Wings, man. They finally came in and fucking ended that shit. Instead, we've arrived. I want the Bears to make a statement today and say, we have arrived, and do it in Lambeau Field.
The
That
Bulls
would just-
Pistons,
oh,
Sean.
God, that would be amazing.
But Sean, the thing is, as I said, as I put on X, and I told you, the Bears are playing with house money. The Packers
They
are
are.
in this. The
All the
Packers are in
pressure
this
is
spot
on
where
the
their
Bears.
Super Bowl window is
Yeah.
this. They
Mhm.
traded for Micah Parsons to win a Super Bowl this year. They have their quarterback in his 6th year, 3rd year starting. Like Caleb is in his 1st year in Ben Johnson's offense, his 2nd year. Like the Packers should win this game. That's just
They
the
should.
reality. All
They
the
should.
pressure, all the pressure is on the Packers. The Bears, if they have their "I have arrived" moment today, then they are so far ahead of schedule,
Uh-huh.
and the Packers are set back so hard. What are you doing? Come on now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
all the pressure is on the Packers. in this
100% it's on
situation.
the Packers.
You're not comparing apples to apples in terms of the
Not yet.
process of these teams. Not right now. No, you are not. So I mean,
But
this is
I
huge.
will say this. Hey, don't be stealing my score, Phil.
Well, a thing
Love
that I
you, buddy.
thought about too is like, because I don't know if you guys heard, some coach on the Packers staff said he takes it personally that Ben Johnson,
The offensive coordinator, whose
The
name
offensive
is
coordinator.
Stankovic.
Yeah.
Who's not
So-
calling
Bitch.
plays down.
Well, I thought about that. I was like, man, I wonder, is
Funny,
this
right?
Packers staff
From Wednesday,
taking
that
that
was
seriously?
24-23
Are,
Bears.
are they taking it personally? And then I thought to myself, is Ben Johnson is probably too good for that to even matter. Like Ben Johnson can beat LaFleur no matter how personal, no matter how badly LaFleur wants it. I think it's like Ben Johnson's still just smarter.
And
than
Ben Johnson is really good at these kind of games,
Yeah.
Brandon. He's really good at getting
Well,
in
and
the
he's
other.
clearly better
is.
than, I mean, over his course of playing against or coaching against him, and he wasn't a head coach, but he's done a
he's had
pretty
his
damn
number.
good job.
Yeah. And Dante asked, can Jalen Johnson and Nashawn pick off Jordan Love? This
Gotta
point,
hope so.
yeah, that's the best answer. But I mean, this point has been made, and it needs to be continued to be made. This Bears defense today that you are going to see, if you're the Green Bay Packers, is exactly the opposite of the defense that you've been seeing the Bears play all year. With the reinforcements back that they have, you saw a smidgen of it against Philly because they were on snap counts. Where that snap count's going to go up.
Well, Hurts
This
was
Bears
off.
defense, there's no tape on this Bears defense as it's currently constructed. With TJ Edwards back, with Jalen Johnson healthy, with Kyler Gordon healthy, this is a completely different defense. That is the X factor in this game, right, guys? Because we don't know what that looks like and what Dennis Allen is going to do with these guys at full health. It's going to be interesting to see for this game, and not just this game, but the stretch run down the end of this thing, because this Bears team, we see teams do this all the time, guys, where they get healthy at the right time, and their defense has sucked all year, and they flip a switch. The Bengals did it when they went to the Super Bowl. The Rams did it. Both those teams did it in that same year they went to the Super Bowl, where they just flipped a switch, and those defenses became completely different than what you would believe they were for the first 10, 12 games of that season. This is a different defense, guys.
Hey, do we know is Edmonds going to have a club, or is because he doesn't have an injury designation at all?
All I saw was it was going to be wrapped. No one said what is going to be on. And even when what's his name was on the show on Wednesday, he said he couldn't tell because the defense or the picture was. I'm sure it's going to be clubbed up.
He did say, Pearson did say he said it was wrapped up.
It was wrapped, yeah, but no one knows. I'm sure it's going to be a club. He had surgery 3 weeks ago.
He's probably the most sound tackler on the football team.
Here, guys,
it doesn't matter.
We need him as a general.
We're not thinking about this either. The Bears are really well. I guess they're missing Stevenson, but Stevenson and Wright, you can exchange. You're only really missing Tremaine Edmonds in this defense. He's going to have his full toolbox just about.
And Noah Sewell's healthy.
That's my point. This defense is not the same as the defense you saw even last week, and certainly not that you've seen up to this point. The Packers are at a disadvantage there. This Packers defense is what it is all season. We've been looking at it, and the thing that you pointed out, Sean, with this Packers defense that I just argued with somebody about on X, they've been allowing the run game these last 5 weeks. 163 to the Panthers. I think they gave up 142 to the Eagles, or who was it?
Rico Dowd ran.
Rico Dowd 142, 111, 99, and 117 in their last 5 games.
Yeah, they've given up 648 yards over their past 5 games or something like that.
Yeah, man. So I mean, like the trends are looking good because the Bears have, as we said, been the best. Have been the best running team in football since that bye week.
Hey, quick question for y'all because we've got to put a bow on this thing for today. Is anyone changing their prediction? I'm leaving mine the same as I had on Wednesday. My prediction on Wednesday was 24-23 Chicago. Dustin, Brandon, you guys changing your minds?
Nope.
Nope.
Not even with the weather. Even with the weather.
23-20.
I think mine was 27-24, and I mean, I think that this is personal between LaFleur and Ben Johnson, and both these guys are going to try to get in their bag. They're going to try to score some points, regardless of the weather. They're going to run the ball, no doubt, but they're going to try to out-coach each other in terms of calling this game, and I think that's going to produce more points than we might be expecting given the weather and the fact that it's on the road. But I mean, 27-24. Bears get the field goal to take this thing out. They leave Caleb too much time. Caleb is the too much time guy.
Jason, what you have on Wednesday?
Bears dominate 35-20. Green.
There you go.
And the Bears might sweep the Packers. The Bears might sweep them, and they also might get
the sweep. And as promised, thank you, G Edits, for this. I sent you this in the chat. I reached out to him. He said he put it out there for everyone to use. I thought this was awesome. We're going to close this out. We're going to come right back and give a bear down after this video is over. Boy, this is phenomenal. If this don't get you hyped up, I don't know what will.
God, it was like 1,000 years ago.
End zone throw. And
I fought my way out of that cave.
became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back. All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
The Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams. Rome Odunze.
I saw all these people die. I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Loveland bangs off his man. He's gonna score.
Whatever it takes.
Good, better, better. It's gonna get better.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I'm so pumped. We might get knocked for that NFL football coverage, but I don't give a shit.
Dude, I could watch that Nashon Wright pick against Pittsburgh 100 times.
So pretty.
Dude,
It'll never
so
get old.
sick, dude.
Listen, guys, win, lose, or draw. This Bears team is fun this year. This Bears team is a good team. They are well coached, and they are going to compete. Let's have some fun today. This is Bears Packers actually matters. The Bears can beat this team, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if
yeah.
they don't, the season's not over, guys, and they're
Correct.
going to go to the playoffs regardless. So
Hey, and I'll say this one more time before we get out of here. If anyone's looking for something to do, you want to join an awesome crowd this afternoon, we are going to be at River Street locking it down. Bears galore. We got $3 tall boys, half off wings. We're not doing the live podcast. The podcast just happened, but we do have Dan Hampton, Colson Loveland,
They're all going to be in the building. They're all going to
yeah,
be.
I wish. Lance Briggs signed autos. They're all framed up and ready to be raffled off for charity today, boys and girls. When we watch the Bears destroy the Green Bay Packers, we have a bunch of other prizes too. We're gonna have 9 winners out there today. We stepped it up a little bit for Bears Packers. We got an awesome Bears speaker with a big bear head on it. We're gonna
50-50 raffle.
50-50. We got the gosh darn Bears. We got a Bears blanket to raffle off today. It's a badass throw. I use the same throw every week when I'm watching the Bears game to keep me warm. So you guys come out today, enjoy it with us. $3 tall boys, half off wings, River Street, 102 North River Street, East Dundee, Illinois. It's going to be a packed house full of rowdy Bears fans. We might sprinkle in a couple of Green Bay Packer fans. But we'll go from there. Everybody, thank you guys. It's been a packed house in the chat today. Thank you.
You guys have been awesome. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not.
Guys.
Share this
Thanks
with a
for
friend. We
watching.
have fun with this. This is 4 Stars Chicago Sports. We got content coming out 4 times a week, and we love y'all. Y'all make this fun. Y'all make this worth doing.
Bear down, and the Oracle made an appearance, so I think
let's
the
keep
Bears are going to win.
Going 6 weeks in a row. Let's do it. This is a 6 week in a row. Let's get it.
I think it's already been decided, Dustin. Mila has blessed us.
we are not worthy.
The end zone again. Bear down, Chicago.
Hey, thank you,
Bears.
Blank, man. Thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody. Fuck Green Bay. Let's go, Bears! Bear down, everybody!
Bear down. Let's get
Bear
it.
down.
River Street. Peace.